Hi beauties, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Jenny Sieber, and today I just wanted to do a little like chit chat, get ready with me, talk about my pregnancy, how it's been so far, all that good stuff, and just do a very simple, kind of glowy, basic makeup look while I talk to you about my pregnancy. So if you'd like to see how I get, obviously not this makeup look because I don't have makeup on right now, but if you'd like to see the finished makeup look and hear a little bit about my pregnancy journey this time, please just keep on watching. So my goal today is just to look glowy and fresh and just basic. That's what I want. Just basic, glowy, and fresh. Nothing crazy. Just like a pregnancy glow. Yes, that's what we're going for. So to start off, I'm just going to prime the skin with the Touch in Sol No Problem Primer. This primer, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a primer that I'm just super in love with right now, but this one seems to work all right. It feels nice. All right, for the skin today, I'm going to be using the Becca Skin Love Weightless Blur Foundation, and this is in the shade Driftwood. I actually picked this up at Marshall's last week, and so far I've been liking it. I got it for like $7, and I went online and looked, and it's on sale for $22 right now, or it was last time I looked, but I was like, score. And you know, Marshall's is very hit and miss with like the skin color shades. But I just happened to get lucky, and this one works pretty good. It might be a little deep for me, but it's pretty. So let's get started talking about my pregnancy. So right now I am 25 weeks and 6 days pregnant, according to my Baby Center app. Honestly, I've not like been keeping up with my pregnancy like I did with Tegan, just because like I'm chasing around a toddler now. Like, it's not the only thing that I'm focused on, and I kind of know like what to expect already, so I'm not just like obsessing over what my body's doing. So I'm basically 26 weeks right now. It says that at 25 weeks and 6 days, the baby is about the size of a rutabaga. I mean, does anybody even know what a rutabaga is? I don't. 13.5 inches long from head to toe, and about 1.5 pounds in weight. So like, we're getting there. It's like becoming real, you know what I mean? So he's getting to be a big boy. Also, if you haven't seen my gender reveal video, I will link it down below. We did a gender reveal. We are having a boy, but if you'd like to see how the reveal went, it was really, really cool. We actually did the same thing that we did with Tegan, but I thought it was a really cool setup and a cool way to do it. So I really enjoyed it both times, and we have a girl right now, and now we're gonna be having a boy in a few months. So my due date is February 21st-ish, 2021. We shall see, you know, if I make it there. So if you don't know, I have a video up just about like my birth with Tegan and everything, and like just my birth video, just talking about everything I went through with her birth. I was actually induced 3 weeks early with her because I got something that was called cholestasis of pregnancy. It's like my liver wasn't getting rid of the bile, and it's very dangerous. So that last week of being pregnant with her was like so stressful, and I was essentially high risk, and they were really keeping, like, they had me doing some things and keeping an eye on me. But yeah, so I was induced 3 weeks early with her. So if that's the case, this baby might come in January, which is like so insane to me. So next I'm going to be using the Naked Skin Concealer. This I also got from Marshall's for like $2.50, maybe $3. Really cheap. I got the shade Light Neutral. It is just like a baby size, but I was happy with that purchase too. So as for my pregnancy this time around, so I know there's like all these speculations of like, if you're having a boy, this is gonna be the case. If you're having a girl, this is gonna be the case, kind of thing. Honestly, my pregnancy has been very similar. I will say some of the differences are like cravings. So the whole salty sweet thing did apply to me. Like with Tegan, I really craved just like fruity candy and also barbecue chips, which I guess that kind of falls in the salty and sweet department. I don't really know. But this time, soft pretzels. Man, that is where it's at. I just want a soft pretzel all the time, or like Doc's pretzels, just pretzels in general is the main thing that I crave. So I always have pretzels in my house. But like at night after Tegan goes to bed, I just like will chill, watch TV, have a soft pretzel. It's so good. And like honestly, soft pretzels are not something that I used to buy basically ever. So it's definitely a pregnancy kind of craving. And then as far as like my bump goes, my bump looks the same. Excuse me. My bump looks the same as it did with Tegan. It sits up high. I think honestly, like where your bump sits is majority of just like your body. Like your body's makeup is gonna determine how your bump sits. So I don't follow that as like a pregnancy like determining factor for which sex you're having. I really just think it's about your body type, honestly. But I mean, I've grown a lot quicker this time, a lot quicker. I'm way bigger right now than I was at 26 weeks with Tegan for sure. But other than that, I mean, the bump looks basically the same. Like it's the same shape and everything. And then for heart rate, his has been a little slower than Tegan's was, but it's like still above the 140, which is supposed to kind of be the determining factor as well for a boy. So his heart rate is higher than I guess a boy's would typically be. My last appointment, it was like right at 140, but the appointments prior to that, it was like 150 to 160. So we were kind of thinking, oh, it's gonna be a girl because of the heart rate, but supposedly it's a boy. I guess we'll find out for sure in a couple months, but that's what they say anyways. So moving on, I'm just going to quickly set under the eyes with the Cover FX translucent powder. I'm also gonna throw a little bit on the lid and set that. Okay, so next I'm going to move on to bronzer. Don't judge my bronzer. Look at this thing. It is 100% cracked like a million times. I don't know why I haven't replaced it. This is the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 200. It's a really pretty bronzer, but it's a very just like a neutral tone. It's really nice. I need to buy a new one instead of, literally I broke this like the day I got it, and I've just been using it broken since. It is such a dangerous game, honestly. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the first trimester. So the first trimester, I really didn't have many symptoms. Like with Tegan, my boobs got sore, and this time they really didn't. Like the only thing that I really noticed was, obviously I was tired. That's kind of a given. I'm tired my whole pregnancy. I don't think I'm as tired this time as I was with Tegan. Like I would just come home and sleep, but I also have a toddler to take care of, so that might just be like me having to be a mom, you know what I mean? So the only symptom that I really had was, I wouldn't call it morning sickness by any means, but like if I didn't eat for a little while, I would just kind of get that like bad feeling of like, you need to eat something or it's just not gonna be pretty. I don't think I would have thrown up by any means, but I just didn't feel quite right if I didn't eat in a timely manner. But other than that, sorry, I don't know how to talk and do makeup. Other than that, like I didn't have just a ton of headaches. I did have some here and there, but with Tegan, I totally like gave up coffee. And this time around, I've been doing a cup of coffee a day. I have really been loving the Starbucks that you can just like buy from Walmart. The medium roast iced coffee. And I put some creamer in that. And I have 1 cup of that in the morning every day. And I think that's probably what helped my headaches, because like with Tegan, I would get a lot of headaches, but I was drinking like 0 caffeine. And that was a big change for me from like pre-pregnancy to pregnancy. So I think it was mainly just caffeine headaches. So yeah, first trimester, I mean, it was pretty smooth, pretty good. I really didn't have anything too crazy going on. So second trimester is what I'm currently in, and honestly I haven't really had any crazy symptoms in this trimester either. I mean, I'd still say I'm tired sometimes, like it's not too bad. Probably the worst thing, which was also the worst thing with Tegan, is just the heartburn. I get heartburn really often. If I have a breakfast bar in the morning, like I have heartburn. If I eat anything in the morning, I have heartburn. The heartburn lately has been getting worse and worse, and like I'll be laying in bed at night and I'll just wake up and I'm like, oh, I need to go take a Tums because I have heartburn. So Tums and I have been real close. I have a container of Tums like everywhere in my bag. I have like 2 or 3 in the house. I have a couple different bags, and I have some at work. I mean, I just have them all over the place because Tums is my best friend right now. And like during my pregnancy with Tegan, I did end up taking a like daily medication for heartburn, but I talked to the doctor about it and she said something about they discontinued one of the ones that I was using. So I need to ask her about that again, because if this heartburn continues on the path that it's on, Tums sometimes don't cut it. And that ain't working for me because heartburn sucks. It really does. But I must admit, in the pregnancy department, I'm very blessed with just easy pregnancies. I mean, it really just depends on you. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, I don't eat healthy. I don't do a lot. I don't work out. I don't do anything really. And my pregnancy last time and this time have both just been relatively easy. So I'm very blessed to be able to say that, because I know some people just have the worst time. So thank you to the Lord. I know I just got done with bronzer, but the brush I was using is this e.l.f. brush. It is the e.l.f. It doesn't have a name. Very cheap, but I love it. And I just love like tapping the bronzer in like this, especially if I don't set my face before, and it goes on really nice, really evenly, like not patchy. It's like a really good brush. I really love this brush. And it's so cute. Like, are you kidding me? How cute. So for blush, I'm going in with the Milani Luminoso. Really, really pretty blush. It has a little bit of a glow to it. I love this blush so much. Look how pretty that is. It just gives the skin such like a luminous effect. It's really light. Really pretty. I love this blush. All about the skin just looking like soft and fresh these days, and this blush really just hits the spot for that. So for highlight, I'm going to use the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter, I believe this is. I don't know what it's called. Oh, yes, it says it right here on the front. Really pretty goldish color. So I'm trying to think like what else to tell you about this pregnancy. So I guess I'm going into my 3rd trimester, and as I said earlier, I did have cholestasis with Tegan, and the likelihood of me getting cholestasis is just slightly higher than a normal person. So just because I had it with her does not mean that I'll have it this time. So there is another thing I thought of that is a little bit different with this pregnancy than it was with Tegan. My placenta is actually in the back this time. So what is that called? Posterior placenta. With Tegan, it was anterior, so it was in the front, and it made it hard to just feel kicks. Like, it didn't make it hard. Like, I could definitely feel kicks, but it took a little longer to feel kicks. Like I didn't feel kicks till I was about 19 weeks with her. And then this time around, I think I was 16 weeks when I first felt a kick. But that could also just be, you know, second time pregnancy kind of thing. Like I know what it feels like now. But, so yeah, I have my placenta in the back this time. So the kicks are just a little bit more intense. I'm excited to see if I can like see a foot, you know, whenever the kicks get even bigger and crazier. I think it would be really fun. But he like slid his foot down my side the other day and it like scared me because it just felt so crazy. But so that is a difference. So I'm hoping, since we have some slight differences, that maybe I won't have the cholestasis, because basically what I need to look out for as I come into the third trimester, because cholestasis doesn't take effect until the third trimester, is I need to watch out for itchy hands and feet, which is the symptom that I had whenever I realized it with Tegan. So I gotta check on my hands and feet. If they get itchy, that's not good. But also my doctor is being really diligent about checking just like my blood work and stuff for that. And also I had, hold on, let me keep going. So I'm just going to take like a fluffy crease brush and just put that bronzer that I used earlier in my crease. And that's all I'm doing for the eyeshadow. So also with Tegan, I did have a slight bit of preeclampsia, but it was after pregnancy. So like my blood pressure skyrocketed after I had her, which is kind of weird. I didn't realize you could have preeclampsia after the fact, but that's what I had. So I did have to be on blood pressure medicine for 6 weeks after I gave birth. Actually, it was probably more like 4 weeks, because I was going to get my blood pressure checked and it was actually getting kind of low, like by the time that I quit taking the medication. So I did stop it a little bit before my 6-week appointment. But yeah, so I did have highly or slightly elevated blood pressure after having her. So something that I'm doing this time around is I'm taking an 81 milligram aspirin every day with my prenatals. And studies have shown that that will prevent preeclampsia. I mean, it's not a guarantee by any means, but my midwife did recommend that I do that. So I was like, you know what, why not give it a shot? It's a very low dose of aspirin. I think it's the lowest dose of aspirin that they make. So I'm not telling you to like go out and do that, but I'm just saying, if you have preeclampsia scares in the past, that might be something to ask your doctor about. But they've also been checking my urine samples for protein. I guess elevated protein in your urine is a sign of preeclampsia. So luckily so far we are good on that. All right, my camera shut off and I don't remember what I was talking about, so I'm very sorry. But I'm just going to start where I think I was. So yeah, I'm taking, so they've been diligent about like checking my urine for the protein. And like I said, it's been fine so far, so I'm hoping no preeclampsia this time. But preeclampsia is a very, very, very serious thing. So like, just when they're checking your blood pressure, make sure you're really paying attention to that, because it could be so dangerous. And if you feel like something's wrong, ask them to check the protein in your urine. It's not that big of a deal. And honestly, like, it could save your life. It could save your baby's life. It is no joke. And then the cholestasis, I mean, if you've never heard of it, Google it. But I believe the most common symptom of it is the itchy hands and feet. So if you're pregnant, you have itchy hands and feet, check yourself out. Ask your doctor about it. Get them to check you. If they won't, go see someone else. Get it checked, because it's serious. Your baby could die. Literally. Like, the bile is poison. It could come back into your bloodstream and kill your baby. I mean, essentially, that's what it can do. So, it is very dangerous. So please, 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 if you ever have anything that feels off, and you're pregnant, talk to your doctor about it. Ask them to check you out. It cannot hurt, okay? That is my advice for the day. I'm just adding a little bit of the highlight that I used in my inner corners and up on my brow bone. Just to give a little bit of glow. So that's literally all I'm going to do for the eyes. Very basic, very simple. This is literally like, I know it seems like it's taking me forever just because I'm like talking, but this is what I do if I'm doing my makeup these days. It's quick, it's easy, it looks nice, it's just, I like it. So before I move on, I'm going to set my face with the Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray from Hourglass. This stuff has a very, very, very beautiful fine mist. Like, I can barely even feel it coming on my face. So it is like excellent mist. I don't know how much I love it, like as far as setting my face, but I just love the mister of it, so it makes me feel good. So moving on to brows. I have been loving the Urban Decay Brow Blade these days. It just gives that, like, it's like the marker kind is the side that I really love about it. I mean, the pencil's nice too, but the marker, it just gives that really like brow hair look. It's really pretty. I'm using the shade Dark Drapes, but I also just need a spoolie, so I'm using my Anastasia spoolie just because I have it. You just gotta have a spoolie to do your brows. I don't know how do you do your brows without one? So what I like to do is I'll take the side that is just like a pencil, and I'll kind of do the outline first, especially up here in the front. I do like the underneath line because I don't have great brow hairs in the front. My brows are so bad right now. They need some help. But so I'll just do kind of the outline of the brow. With the pencil. And then I will take the more markery side and kind of fill in. It seems to be a little bit deeper of a color than the pencil, so it really just fills in those hairs nicely. And then I'll fill in the front by just doing kind of upward motions, very light-handed, because it can go bad quick. And then I just take my spoolie and really blend it in, make it look a little softer, a little cleaner. And there she is. The color might be a little dark for me, but I like it. I think it looks pretty good. Like, if you're not wearing any makeup at all, though, this might be a little bit dramatic, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to do the other side real quick, and then I'll be right back because I can't talk and do brows. You know what I'm saying? I did just think of some things that, I don't know if they're weird pregnancy symptoms. One of them I think is a weird pregnancy symptom. Like, I don't think this happens to everybody. The other one I think happens to people, they just don't talk about it. But I want to tell you a couple of my like weirder pregnancy symptoms that I get, and it happened both times. Alright, I'm back. I took a brief pause there because my camera died, so I went and ate. I was about to die of starvation. So while I talk, I'm going to be using the Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal and the Zen Lash Extension Mascara from Pharmacy. I'm going to use the L'Oreal one first. So a couple of pregnancy symptoms that I've had, both pregnancies actually, that honestly I thought were really strange. One of them I think actually is strange. The other one, I think a lot of people have, they just don't talk about it, and I had no idea it was gonna happen. So the first one is that my toilet seats turn blue. And apparently it's a pregnancy thing. I Googled it, and I mean, there's a lot of different like speculation as to what causes it. I'm guessing it's just a hormonal thing, but yeah, so all the toilet seats in my house are blue, and it's like the shape of my butt, which is really nice. I had my family come over when I was pregnant with Tegan, and they were like, what are you doing? Why is your toilet like blue in the shape of a butt? They thought my husband and I were doing some kinky stuff. But no, it's like a weird pregnancy symptom that you turn toilet seats blue. So it's very interesting. And I don't know if it's just the specific type of toilet seats that we have, or if it's every kind of toilet seat. I don't know. But the ones in my house, they're blue. And it's not like super duper duper blue, but it's like blue enough that you notice that, like what's that, you know? So that's the one that I don't think everybody experiences, because online, I mean, it's not just like a hugely talked about thing, but people talk about it. But the other one is your nipples. So your nipples will probably turn like 4 shades darker than they were, and they'll grow, okay? Like the areolas will grow. That's normal. It's fine. Mine went back to their normal color after Tegan was born. I also breastfed those, so maybe that's why. I don't know if everybody's go back to normal. But then when I first got pregnant this time, I was still breastfeeding, but I have since quit, and since I stopped breastfeeding her, the color has just gone way dark again. It's crazy. So, now that you know what my nipples look like, I think those are the only like symptoms that aren't specifically related to a trimester. I mean, that's just, it's something that gradually happens over time. And like the toilet seat, it just happens immediately. Like it could be one of your first symptoms. So if you're ever wondering if you're pregnant and your toilet seats have started turning blue, there could be a correlation there. So for lips, I'm using the LA Girl lip liner in the shade Natural. It's just a basic nudie shade. I'm also just gonna use that lip liner to fill in the lips. My lips are so dry. I put on chapstick earlier, but holy crap. Okay, so my lips aren't totally filled in, but that's not gonna matter, because I'm gonna put a gloss on top of it. This is the Dose of Colors Over the Top from the Desi Katie collab. Obviously this is no longer available, but Raw Beauty Christie just came out with a collab with ColourPop that has a very similar lip topper. And I need to buy something from that collab because it looks amazing and I love her. Alright guys, so this is the finished makeup look. Very just like basic, glowy, bronzy makeup. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any questions related to pregnancy or related to like the cholestasis stuff or related to makeup or anything, just leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you want to know and I will get back to you down there. Other than that, thank you so much for being here with me today. And if you're pregnant, very best of luck to you. I pray that everything goes well with you and your baby, and I hope you have a great day. All right, thanks for watching. Bye guys. I just remembered I was going to show you my bump at this 26-week stage. So, that belly button. Looking nice and outy-ish.